Welcome back to Wild Drama Stories, timestamps in the description box. Story 1. Opie writes, Throw away for obvious reasons. So, for some backstory, I have 4 roommates. Recently, I've been having a lot of issues with some of my roommates, 2 of them more than the rest. I've been getting frustrated by how they've taken up all of the freezer space, and I only have 4 small items in there, despite paying equal rent. I've brought it up to them and they just give me excuses like, quote, well, we buy in bulk, unquote, and stuff. I've always been bothered by the state in which they leave the kitchen and dishes. They leave food all over the counter and dirty dishes all over the counter and fill the sink. We have a bug problem because of this. This has been discussed multiple times and nothing changes. They leave dishes to, quote, soak, unquote, for several days before I get fed up and clean them myself. FYI, we have a dishwasher right next to the sink, and they'll leave everything like this even when it's completely empty. I've asked them multiple times to clean up after themselves and to respect my dishes and cookware by cleaning it the same day as it was used. They always acknowledge and agree and then don't follow through. So, in a recent night, I got into a discussion about something unrelated. One of the roommates made a disgusting comment about a very touchy subject. This comment hurt me and made me very upset. After the comment was made, I told them that what they said was disgusting, hurtful, and uncalled for. I was made out to be crazy for getting angry at what was said. I ended up leaving for a couple of hours and coming back. When I came back, I had decided that I'm no longer going to allow them the privilege of using my things. They have lost my respect and my friendship after being so heartless to me. So I spent the entire night getting all my dishes, cookware and bakeware and locking it in my room to go into storage. They still have dishes and cookware, they just won't have as much. So I haven't left them with nothing. If they don't respect me, and they've proven they don't respect my items, then I don't believe they should have access to my belongings. So am I the a-hole for taking all of my things away from them? Edit. My boyfriend and family were the ones who suggested I put my things somewhere safe for 2 reasons. 1. As I stated, they've shown in their behavior over the last 2.5 years that other people's stuff doesn't really matter to them. And 2, I'm moving out this year and they want to ensure I have all of my things and they aren't trashed / broken / lost for when I move. Opie posted that 6 months ago and recently updated. We'll get to that in a moment. Well, Opie, I don't think you are the a-hole, and I think your story is quite familiar to a lot of people. You live with people who don't care to clean up after themselves, and eventually there's one person that ends up doing all of it. And in this case, that person is you. And understandably, that is very unfair and very frustrating. So I don't think you're the a-hole for locking up your things. Let's get some comments. Not the a-hole. This feels strangely familiar, to be honest. Had almost the exact same problem, but nothing improved, and I started getting sick because of all the unnecessary stress and moved out. Keep your stuff with you and don't let them treat you like a puppet. Someone else comments, not the a-hole. But why are you still living with people you don't like after 2.5 years? Opie replies, honestly, they were my best friends for a really long time. I was trying to set these issues aside for the sake of my friendships, until recently when their behavior towards me changed and they started acting as if my friendship meant nothing to them. Someone else says, not the a-hole. I hope you're able to get out of that living situation in the near future. Nobody should have to stay in a living situation where they and their property are not respected. And 6 months after Opie's original post, here is the follow-up, the update. I have some good news. I ended up taking everything a step further, as some comments suggested. I decided that I take all of my furniture and any other items that were scattered throughout the house, regardless of whether they were being used or not, and put them in my room and locked the door. I then calculated the square footage of my room compared to the rest of the house and used that as a negotiating point to lower my rent. My roommates agreed that, since I hardly stay there, I could lower my rent to a fixed monthly amount and essentially use it as storage. The only utility I would continue to pay is electricity, as my room was still air-conditioned. I've been much happier with this arrangement. I know my stuff is safe, I'm not overpaying for a room I don't live in, and I'm moving out in little over a week. No roommates, just my partner and I. I was already planning to move out when I posted my original post, but the comments saying I should definitely move out made me feel less guilty for, quote, abandoning, unquote, my roommates. While my roommates and I used to all be friends, and I loved them, we've had so many fights, and I can't say I've been perfect, but they've hurt me a lot. So moving out and no longer having roommates is going to be so relieving. If I ever end up in a situation where I need roommates again, I'll definitely take the advice given to me in the comments of my original post and write a roommate contract. I appreciate all the advice and support that was left in the comments of my first post. Thank you all so much. Opie, I'm so glad for you that you're going to be moving out soon. Let's get one comment with a reply from Opie. I know from your post that you are not often there, but what was the reaction from the roommates when they noticed that a lot of things were gone? Just curious if they behaved decently or full-on entitlement. Happy for you, Opie, that you got out and things are looking better now. Opie replies, they continue their behavior of acting like I don't exist. The ones that spoke just were confused. And I explained that I was just preparing early for my upcoming move. And thank you, I'm happy to be getting out. Well played, Opie, and I really have to wonder who's going to do all the dishes and the cleaning up once you're gone. Story 2. Opie writes, I'm 21 female, still living with my dad, 48 male, while getting my degree. I help out with the bills, groceries, chores, and errands since I have a part-time job. Even suggested paying rent, but Dad said I should just save it for when I get my own place. We have a pretty neat arrangement. It was a chill night. I ordered in and out for Dad and myself after grocery shopping. Was planning on watching a movie so both of us could ride our food high till we tap out for the night. Was absolutely not expecting my bio mom, 47 female to male, to be there when I arrived. To be fair, I was asked on a number of occasions growing up if I was open to meeting him. I said, yeah, sure, why not? But I want to be clear, dude is an absolute stranger to me, so I don't have strong feelings towards him. He divorced my dad and ran away as soon as the cord was cut. So never really knew him. He started reaching out a few months ago to my dad, saying he wants to meet me and apologize for not being there. Dad asked if he should give my contact details. I said no, because I'm more comfortable with him emailing my dad and me reading the emails afterwards, vice versa. He said okay. I was expecting that he'd give me the same heads up, but no, this witch is totally blindsided. So I of course had the what the F face when I arrived, but I was raised to be hospitable to guests, so I had that crap shelved up for later. We ate, takeout was sidelined cause my dad cooked. Movie night was cancelled. I was pissed. Apparently my face showed it, so Dad called it a night. Bio parent asked if he could come again next week. I said I'm busy. I think he got the gist. Dad absolutely went ballistic on me. Said I was disrespectful and ungrateful. I said he should have told me that he was coming over. He said it's his house and he shouldn't be asking permission from me. I said I pay half the bills. He said not anymore and maybe I should move out. So, am I the a-hole? Edit. Sorry for the confusion. Yes, Biomom is a trans man. OP, no, I don't think you are the a-hole. As you said, you were blindsided by your dad and your bio mom. It was very unfair of them to do that to you. They should have spoken to you about it before arranging this. You're a grown-up. You absolutely have the right to decide who you want to see and who you don't want to see. And even if you were still a minor, this still would have needed to be discussed with you first. I feel basically that your dad and your bio mom did what they felt was right for them, and neither one of them care about what you want, unfortunately. We have an update from OP, but first we're going to get some comments with replies from OP. Someone writes, "Holy crap, they have to be dating again. If your dad doesn't calm down sooner than later, it's 100%. You handled that well and are not the a-hole." OP replies, "Effing hell, I never thought of that. My dad is straight though." Someone else writes, "Not the a-hole. One of your parents abandoned you. That's huge, and it's heavy. They don't get to just waltz back in and pretend they didn't ditch you for 2 decades. School sports days, exams, exam results, heartbreaks, holidays, the whole lot. Your father chose to ditch you, chose to duck out, and your dad, who you live with, is upset that you don't want to be around someone who abandoned you as a child. Look, your dad has ideas about your parent based on the relationship they had and how they know each other. You haven't got that relationship with your absent parent, and he chose to shove it down your face. Are you as ungrateful as your biological parent who abandoned you? No. Show your dad this post." OP replies, "Thanks for pointing that out. I'm more of ambivalent, impassive towards bio dad. He did open up in one of my emails that being pregnant, the birth and what comes afterwards, gave him huge gender dysphoria. It eclipsed his desire to be there as a parent, and he felt like he needed to get out of that situation. Now, in hindsight, he felt that maybe he should have instead come out as trans and stayed, seeing how my dad has reacted to his transition. So cool, not all are cut out to be parents. I don't have bad feelings towards him, though I think it's kind of too late to have a relationship. I don't even think we have common interests. I think I'm more hurt by my dad and his actions. As I said in one of my responses, I'm used to having a pissing contest with him, but this felt more personal. Not to me, but to him. Maybe it's time I move out and give him some space. I will be showing this to him as soon as I move out, LOL. Update. Thank you guys for the advices. I really appreciate them. Yes, I am planning on moving out and will pack my crap either tonight or tomorrow. I'll also talk to my dad and level with him on what just happened. I'm not sure if I'm ready to ask him about the dating part, but let's see. I'll try to give an update. Thanks again. Well, that's it for this edition of Wild Drama Stories. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, and until next time, wishing you a drama-free life.